Hello everyone, it's Szczepan Urbanowicz. It's Szczepan Urbanowicz. Welcome to another episode or another session of Go With The Flow, a global watercolour conversation. We have a fantastic group of artists, watercolour artists, all the way over in Europe. We've gone through half the globe so far, and now we're still about to talk to another spectacular group of watercolour artists. I'll introduce them briefly. We have Giovanni, Balzarani, George, Politis, Massimiliano, Iocco, Fotini, Hamidieli, and Simonida, Filipova, with Cesc, Farre and Angela, Barbi, who will be hosting this session. So I will leave it now to Angela. Angela, Barbi, please, off with you.
Hello, thank you, Szczepan, for thanking you for organizing all of this. I think everyone is enjoying it so much, and thank you for your hard work, for the idea, and I'm very honored to participate and be part of it.
Thank you.
So, welcome to everybody again. Bienvenidos a todos. Benvenuti. We have here a few of very well-known artists and excellent artists like Giovanni Balzarani and Simonida and Massimiliano. And Cesc, is there anybody? And George, I cannot see him, but he is there, George Politis.
Yeah, George.
So we will try to follow one after the other because there is not much time for each. And I don't want to speak any longer. I will just introduce Simonida Filipova. She's from North Macedonia and a very good friend of mine. We were together in India last January and we got to know each other better. So you can share your art or whatever you would like to say if you want to introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm born in Skopje, it is the capital of Macedonia, and I studied there. I was first in a high art school in Skopje and then art academy I finished. So I'm abstract painter, and I do the big canvases, with acrylic and oil, and do the performances and some installation. But the last, actually many years, I do the watercolors most of the time. I love the watercolors, the water and the pigment and all this. I love it, and I'm doing this, and I'll show you some quickly then because I will paint now something, okay? And I'd like to say that I'm grown up in an artistic family. My parents were artists, a painter, and my brother. So from a little one, I was like to be artist. So he's from India.
Oh.
Nice.
There's some flowers. Because I have a big yard and I have many flowers and birds and most I painting this. So I do the abstract with the figure mix.
Oh, I love that.
It's my auto portrait with some other flowers.
Fantastic.
I like to travel.
Oh.
This from India.
That was in India. We were there. We were together there.
Yes. Yeah,
and this photo I took that photo.
Yes. And I like to travel because everything what I absorb when I go to other countries, when I come back, I'm like explosion. I paint a lot. Yeah. Okay. Here is some let's see if I will show everything. I have here some abstract with the ink, all abstract.
Okay. Wow.
That's me,
Wow.
but I can't do it straight now.
Thank you.
Okay. So I usually walk outside in a yard because I need space more. This one.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Okay?
Yeah.
So best.
Now you're going to paint.
So I will start to paint. paint. I like to say that first time I never draw with a pen when I paint watercolors and oil painting on canvas too. I always draw with directly without paint. You know, I don't use pencil.
With the color, yes.
Yes, I don't use pencil. I'll draw directly without paint. Okay. So.
Show us your magic.
Okay,
We'll
that's
have 5
really
minutes, but,
great
It's
angle.
okay.
we'll see 5 minutes.
Perfect,
of magic.
perfect.
I cut these cherries from my yard. Can you
And will
see
you
it?
paint them?
You see that? Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's nice.
Go, go, go.
I never know what I can
Andiamo, Simonetta.
Here first.
I wonder if this will beat the record so far today. We have a painting in 2 minutes, so go, Simonida, go.
Oh, she's able to do that.
Oh, wow.
You just watch.
For the viewers at home, don't be worried. Simonida is going to be continuing to paint as the conversation continues with the other artists and the other guests. So we're seeing a little bit of the beginning of her painting process, and by the end of 50 minutes, it's going to be spectacular. I'm waiting too. So this is great.
Sure, sure.
Whoa.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, turquoise. I like it.
Yes, very fast. I'm using a lot of water.
Yes.
This is liquid watercolor, no?
Yes, I use some eco lines and in a tube colors. Here, 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 here.
Yeah.
You see? Everything.
That's great.
Okay, use.
This is great.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that you're just using these huge brushes. That's just, yeah.
Wait when you see Nicolas. I don't think he will paint. But he has a brush that is as big as a broom.
Wow.
Perfect.
Little bit more water. This is a flow.
That's right.
Yes. Go with the flow. Go with the flow.
The water is working now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this, I like the water and the pigment do their job, and then I control somewhere, but I like they do their job too,
Superb.
This, yeah, now the cherries, no?
I create on the spot, you know. I don't have before, you know, some how gonna be.
Preconceived.
Yes. I mean, that's how I like to.
Okay. Angela, I think we may need to move to the next
in my
person.
watch,
Yeah,
she has still 1 minute, but maybe 9 minutes have passed already
Yeah.
because I was a bit late.
that's okay.
So you can keep painting.
Keep
then,
painting, yes.
And we will watch you at the end, or we can keep watching you in the miniature. Okay?
Go for it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It's gorgeous already. So Giovanni, sei pronto per entrare?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Yes? So your turn. You can introduce yourself. I will say that he is a very good realistic painter, and you have a lot of practice, and just tell us about your technique and whatever you want about yourself.
Okay, thank you. I try speaking English. I'm Giovanni Balzarani. I'm watercolor painter. Thank you, Szczepan, for this opportunity. Thank you, Constantine Sterbo, for nominating me, and all the artists in the world. I study my art career. I studied in a fine academy of fine art in Rome, and I live in near Rome, a sort of Rome. This is my studio, a group of painters. Sure, this is my last series of painting. I'm a hyperrealism painter.
Oh, look, how beautiful.
Nice.
Wow.
It's
Very,
amazing.
very beautiful.
This is my last series.
Yeah, that's my
Ah.
favorite.
I love this.
Remember the similar paint have
Michal,
Misha.
Misha.
Misha in
Mm,
Russia.
mm.
Made during the demo during the
Yeah,
Russia.
I was there when you gave him. Yeah.
This is my Chupa Chups glass.
Oh.
Chupa chups.
Fantastic.
Chupa chups.
Wow.
My personal research is study the mix, the black mixing from the background. I use three color for this black. First step is sepia, and second step shadow violet. Yeah, and shadow violet, and another step. 8, 10, 20 layer, only lamp black.
Really?
Yeah.
So how many layers does this background have?
Maybe 10, 20 layers. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I use techniques, the sea sponge from the plug,
Yes.
plug, masking the skyline, and
So you don't do it with a brush?
no, I don't use the brush. For this painting, 25 layer of black.
Wow. And it's so pure. It looks so pure now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely you must have masked the rest.
Oh yeah. This is another page showing on the.
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
Fabulous.
The mixing black. I don't use the brush for the use only the big brush for the mixing, but for the background I use only the sea sponge, and for detail after mixing use a 10-0 brush.
1 hair.
10-0. 10-0.
10-0.
One hair.
1 hair only.
One hair.
Oh, so those are them. Very fine. Wow.
Wow.
For the
Yes.
yeah. Is use only the Koliski
Fabulous.
brush.
So how long does it take you to do a painting?
My painting for the half sheet to 2-3 weeks. For the full imperial sheet, 1.5 months, 2 months. Yeah. It's very
Wow.
long. This painting is 2.5 months. This
Wow.
is the Hard Rock in Budapest. Is a bar. When during the dinner with my wife, stop taking my photo with this painting. The image for my painting is take for during my travel. During from the still life, I prepare in this area the photographic set with the black background or white background. I don't use the color background, only white and black.
Wow.
Yes.
It's so funny because Simonida can paint a half sheet in 10 minutes, no?
Wow.
That's
light-
beautiful.
The lighthouse? No.
Yeah.
A lighthouse?
Maybe? No.
Is Berlin, yeah. Is the historic museum in Berlin, yeah.
Ah.
Wow.
The name of this meeting, Tribute to Unite, because the artists made I represent the unite of people.
Perfect.
Wow.
It's part it represent the rust. Only the rust. I don't use the sponge on the big brush, but use the famous technique, impressionist technique, the pointillism.
Ah.
It's a long,
For the
long-
darks. For
Yeah.
the darks?
Yeah.
Not for the lights.
No. Only for the
Only for
darks.
the darks.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing technique. Amazing.
It's a long process. My passion is because my real job is a fine art store. I have more passion. No.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah, anybody would like to ask him a question? He still has 3 minutes. But
I think that's it. We should move on, Angela. We are, yeah.
So now, did we say it was George? I think it's George's turn. George Politis, are you there? I cannot see you.
I am here.
Ah, yes. Hello, George.
Hi.
Listen.
Hey.
How
I
are you?
can see some paintings of Santorini.
Yes, and so I have several styles and approaches and things that I paint. One of the places that I like to paint is Santorini, where we have a workshop every year lately, not this year because of the coronavirus. But yes, I like to paint Greece. I like to paint realistic subjects like rusty materials and walls and posters, torn posters and things like that. And I also like to free myself painting in an abstract way too. And you can see some of my abstract paintings at the back. But best is perhaps to start a share screen and show you some of my paintings. Let me find there. Here it is. So, can you see already?
Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Right.
Yes.
So we have a painting here from Santorini, from Emborio Santorini. Sometimes I paint with pure watercolors, sometimes I use mixed water media. This is a pure watercolor. And I like very much the Daniel Smith colors. Actually, I'm an ambassador of the Daniel Smith colors. And I love to use the Primatex series, which is more, granulating colors. So they give me the chance to paint more of texture, and I love texture in my paintings. So this is another painting, again from Santorini, one of the
Beautiful
famous
sky.
churches in Oia. And yet more houses from there. And you see that I like to play with the contrasts, the diagonals, and the composition is an important part of my painting procedure, so I try to find more dynamic compositions when I paint. And yet another painting from Santorini. So
This is beautiful.
this is not the only paintings that I do, of course. I love old houses, I love old renderings. Here is an old building from the city where Fotini Hamidieli lives, from Veria. And this is
Wow.
a monastery from Mount Athos. This is another style of a painting because here you can see areas that are painted in pure watercolor and other areas like the trees and the foreground, the pathway, that are first collaged. I have used collage first, and then I have painted on top of the collage with watercolor. Again, pure watercolor, not inks.
Wow.
And this is the other kind of paintings that I love to paint. These are the rusty materials, more texture in these paintings. I love painting things like that. They convey some beautiful atmosphere from the past for me, and this is what perhaps most people know me best from this kind of paintings. And yet another one, things that are commonly overlooked, like rusty machines that are found at the sides of the roads or neglected or thrown away. These are potential subjects to me. And of course, I don't paint what I see exactly. It is always some kind of my composition. I invent shapes, I invent several things in the painting. I change the colors, I emphasize in some of the textures, I eliminate other things. I mean, like everybody does, I guess. And yet another painting, more high key, let's say, painting, although it was a very rusty thing in reality, but I decided to give a lot of color in this painting. Right, what else? Yet another one, again with rusty materials, things like that I find whenever I go out. I have my eye ready to find such things. I sketch, I take a couple of photos, and then mostly at studio I paint. If I paint en plein air, I sketch my subject and then I turn around. I don't see my subject anymore, and I sketch the way I want. So I decide to paint the way I want, and thus, as I say, I'm not a slave of my subject. I try to create things. Another old door, you see that things
Wood
that
texture.
interest me very much are texture on wood, on metal, on the stone, on walls, things like that. And finally, I will conclude with my paintings with the more modern, let's say, approaches where I deal with people in pain. This is a series that I started some years ago, and Anna Massimiliano before spoke to you about that. We had a joint exhibition a couple of months ago, so I try to speak about refugees, about the Holocaust, about people in pain, about the rights of women or of black people. Things that are really important to me for an artist to respond to the problems around us. And I will conclude with a couple of photos because everything is on this PowerPoint of my studio. This is my studio. A couple of views of my studio.
I have been there
Wow.
many times in Thessaloniki. Wonderful place. I recommend it highly.
So that's it. I guess that's it. If you have any questions, I am
Thank you.
ready to answer. But that's it for me.
We are 2 minutes ahead of time, but that's wonderful.
I decided to run a little bit so that we have more time later to do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe
No,
if there is no, no, if there are no, is there anybody who would like to ask something, or we should proceed to the next one? That would be Massimiliano, no?
Massimiliano.
Massimiliano. Yes.
Thank you so much,
yes.
and Andrea, to introduce me, and thank you to Szczepan to invite me to this meeting. I know it's a little bit strange for me because my English is not so good. I prefer just to paint and not talk. Okay.
Yes.
We stay here inside our studio because it's not only my studio. I work here with Roberto Zancarelli and Igor Sava to Aquarella Studio. We moved to this new place was the last December, so it was just more or less 5 months ago. Now we stay in the center of Rome, near Campo de Fiori. It's a very historic place of my city. It's very, very beautiful place. Maybe
I haven't been there. No.
Yes, yes. You have to come here, Andrea, because it's very, very fantastic. Even our school is fantastic. By the way, lockdown now is finished. Finally, we can go outside to paint because mainly I'm a landscaper, so it was a little bit difficult to me to paint inside my house. It was very odd, strange period because you have to know that I'm a little bit lazy man.
Oh.
yes, of course. I don't like much to paint by a picture because I prefer to stay in front of the life and put just some piece there, some piece up there, and put on the paper. This is my style, my way to see what I follow. So finally, we can go outside. By the way, in this time, during my lockdown inside my apartment, I try to do something a little bit different, no? About my common style, usual style. And I would like to show you some little pieces because it's like a studio for me. So I would like to present my cuisine with my coffee.
Oh,
My coffee machine in my cuisine. I do this one on Indian paper. It's a Chitrapat. I like a lot this paper. It was a gift from Munich. I was in India last year, and the texture of this paper is very, very fantastic. I invite you to try this kind of paper.
What is the name? The name?
Chitrapat.
Chitrapat.
Chitrapat, yes. It is not possible to find in Europe. Sorry.
I know.
Yeah, just in India. Maybe you have a lot of Indian friends. So maybe
Yes, like
we
you.
have.
Like you.
Thank you.
That's fine. Another one, maybe Cesc know this paper, is Sanders Waterford. This is my box with my Vespa, or the Vespa.
Oh,
It's possible to use.
beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much. This was another made in Hyderabad Indian paper. This was made in Kiev last year in Ukraine. It's the Victoria Studio. This one.
Oh.
I took a picture to Victoria Studio last year. This one. And another one, just to try to follow Mark Foley because I like a lot his style, was just a studio, just to try a different thing for me. Okay, so now if you allow with me, I would like to introduce a new guy of this world, and should be kind by you if you can give a feedback about this work. Please continue.
Time to say a little bit surprised. Hello to
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this surprise, Igor. This is Igor Sava.
Yes.
to invite all of you and also to in the front of the monitors now to come here in Rome, in our beautiful studio in the historical center of Rome. And paint together, and we will do many things. Shut up, it's the moment to show. My paintings is at home, but in the studio we have some. I will show.
Show.
Portrait.
Oh, yes.
Wow. This is not a watercolor, but it's painted in watercolor style. Okay.
What is this, acrylic?
Canvas and bitumen. Bitumen is
Like oil.
like oil, organic, but this is the concept inside. I will explain you one day when we have more time. Now is Massimiliano time. I will show you some sketches. We have model classes here, and also models come to pose here. So we do fast sketching here, something like this, or or like this.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
In the sepia tone.
Sepia, yes.
Something like this.
This is probably 5-minute poses, no? Is it 5-minute poses?
We start with a very short time, around 5 minutes, and after 10, 15 minutes. And yeah, something like this.
It's not so bad, no? Right?
Well, yes.
But we can do better. Yeah.
Nonetheless, yes.
The great student.
Yes.
So guys,
Listen, you managed to escape Mexico,
you.
no? You managed to escape Mexico.
yes, we enjoy with my wife Ekaterina, so we enjoy quarantine time in Mexico, because they cancel our flights, the Spanish tickets. With the they cancel our flights, so we enjoy painting for 3 weeks in Mexico. After come back in Rome, and the painter in quarantine, nothing changed. He is in the front of the easel before quarantine, during, and after. So,
So,
You the shoot.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
painting full time.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
so enjoy every moment. Quarantine, freedom, everything. And because all the roads come to Rome, one day you will come to find us.
All the roads lead to Rome.
Fantastic.
Yes. Thank you
Okay.
so much. It was a beautiful surprise.
Thank you.
Ciao, belli. Oh, this is a view
Now
of
font.
yes, Simonida's cherries.
Yes, it is. They're coming along now. Now Fotini.
Yes, now it's Fotini's turn.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Fotini.
I just want to say to Massimiliano that I was in Via Arenula and Palazzo Cenci. I lived there for about a year, studied when I was in Rome. I studied very close to Campo di Fiori, and we used to shop there at the market for food. Wonderful experience, wonderful area. As George said, I live in Varia, it's in northern Greece. It's very close to Thessaloniki. And as Simonida painted cherries, this time of year we have a big cherry tree in our yard, and we have many cherries. So this is one that I did of the cherries in our yard that we have picked. Okay, sometimes I like to paint in pure watercolors, but and from life. But very often I like to mix things up. Like here, there are more cherries in this one.
Wow.
You can see it well. I like to mix materials a lot. Where the figure is, I had just laid colors before, and then on the where the cherries are, that's pure watercolor. And on this area, I laid a lot of transparent papers, and on top I painted with watercolor and watercolor. And I tried to get the freshness and transparency from the real watercolor in the same painting. So this side first is the other side. So I like to mix stuff up. I used to be a teacher, so very often I used to photograph some students' pieces I liked, and this is one of them. And that little bug of a little fly was with the watercolor pencil. I like to work very quickly. I'm a kind of impatient person, so I work fast. My subject matter was mostly women, even though for many, many years before, I used to do a lot of landscapes. And maybe you can see that in this watercolor. This is also pure watercolor. I used to go out mainly to the river near our city and painted over there. But now I don't really use a model or anything. Sometimes I use photographs, but mainly I get an idea of what I want to do, like the composition. Mainly, that's the part which interests me most. So I think of the composition, and then I think how to build the composition up. But other times I begin with an image which I have seen, or some notes I have taken, some sketches or some photographs. So this is another one, and it's pure watercolor and some watercolor pencils over there. So this is another. I like making painting flowers, but I don't like to paint them very realistically. It's just, I guess, color notes that I wanted to paint, and looming from the back, from the back. There's another one with flowers right here.
I love this.
Wow.
You know, the female figure and the woman. That's, I guess, I like to represent the female psyche, the female being. And this is another one which started as a pure watercolor. And this is handmade paper, this patch here. And I like to make printing blocks. And this one here, I painted on the printing block, and then I just, stamped it on my painting. Okay, I like to use things that are symbolic, images that are personal to me, or remind me of things, and stuff like that. Like in this one, that little fish at the top, I had made printing blocks with salt and flour, and I made the little fish. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Really?
And I put some ink on it, watercolor ink, and this and a different kind of paper, and then I collaged it on the top. Like I said, I like to work from things that are there all the time, but mainly I like to have things coming from inside, from my mind. Like this is one where I used a lot of paper, collaging. It's interesting to me to use watercolor to get the richness and transparency and all the qualities of watercolor and bring it into my other work, in painting with acrylics, even in working in drawing just with charcoal. I like to think that I free myself up as much as I can using loose brush strokes and not thinking so much but reacting to the color and the paper and the water and what the water does. I don't know if I'm showing this too quickly. This is another one where I use different colors of paper, so I'm holding it close. You can see that little green patch is actually Italian paper, which I bought from Florence. This is handmade paper, and then I slightly added some watercolor on top. And sometimes the watercolors become quite abstract, even though I have an image somewhere in there. I like to
very, very beautiful.
And the toning, the colors, I don't know if I'm showing this very well to you.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Put
Fabulous.
it back a little. Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
There, beautiful. Yeah.
Perfect.
I tried to
Fabulous.
make some small, bigger pieces. This is it.
Ah,
Yeah? So
I love that one. I know that
trying
one.
to do things most of the time, but the female figure is there always. I don't. I guess it's my main inspiration. So when I have a subject matter that I want to work from, I remain with that. So that's not
Yes. Yes.
okay. I don't know how I'm doing with time, or maybe I'm.
No,
okay.
you still have a minute left, so you're okay.
It? Okay. He has to. But when I said I combine drawing with washes, with watercolor wash, some things in, and a little bit here I put some acrylic or temper, I don't remember, and there are charcoal lines too. So
Fabulous.
I like to feed off, to play off each other, all these materials, but along with the pure watercolors.
Fantastic.
Paper, whatever paper I find at the time.
Great.
So most Fabriano, and I use the Simonida watercolors, and this is what I find in my area.
Fantastic.
So
That's fabulous. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
You
Fantastic.
live near
Thank you.
Vergina, right? You live near Vergina.
about 20 minutes from Virginia, where the palace.
I have been there. Beautiful.
Oh, you've been? Yeah, it is.
Yes,
it
yes.
is.
And Pele.
Fantastic.
Pella, sorry.
Ah.
Io gelato.
Angela, maybe we
Gelato, per favore, un gelato. Passami il gelato.
Angela, maybe we go back to Simonida and see how she's going with her painting.
Yes. Did you
Okay,
finish,
I think
Simonida?
How are you going?
I need to dry this and then.
But you cannot put it vertical, no? You cannot put it vertical because it's wet, right?
No, I can't.
Maybe just move the camera.
Maybe can you show us? Can you show us?
Yes. After this,
Ooh.
when it's very, very dry, okay? When it's very, very dry, I do with a dry brush, some
Branches or some details.
and some details, just somewhere,
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
But it's very, very wet. I don't like to.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
have a dryer to do. Okay?
Wow.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is the
Very,
way
very
how
interesting.
I paint. I started. Okay?
Thank
Fabulous.
you. Very, very interesting to see how you paint. Thank you.
Fantastic.
So, Szczepan,
Okay,
would you like to
I think-
conclude?
Yes,
or-
thank you. Look, that was a special meeting of a group of excellent, super watercolor painters. Thank you very much for coming together today. There's the drink, Giovanni. Thank you for all coming together.
Who gets a drink?
Yes,
I want
everyone's
an
got a
Aperol.
drink. Look at that.
Did you make an Aperol? I have some Zipuro.
There we go.
Okay, so
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for everyone for coming to this, for you all for sharing your time. These events would not happen, or this event would not happen with your generous contribution of your time and your energy. Thank you once again for making this event happen. I know that the viewers at home are enjoying this. All around the world, people are watching this, and I know that they've just witnessed another special moment with a group of very talented watercolor artists. So can I thank you each? Fotini, George, Giovanni, Simonida, Massimiliano, Cesc and Angela Barbi. Thank you very much for all coming together today. And
Thank you.
as we all end these sessions, or have started, and Igor Sava as well.
yes, as a surprise.
There he is. Thank you very much for coming. And again, remember,
Thank you for
go with the flow.